Denis Villeneuve's comments have made, well, they've made the rounds. There's plenty of reaction pieces out there. There's plenty of people weighing in on it. The most notable, of course, being Neil Blomkamp, who went from director we all like to this guy's a nobody. We should try to cancel him. So I guess Scott Derrickson wants in on that. The former director of Multiverse of Madness and the director of the original film has some choice words, which are definitely, they're definitely better choices of words than what Neil Blomkamp said. Let's put it that way. So Scott Derrickson, of course, left Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and he's had plenty to say about the displeasure that he had working with Marvel Studios on that film and developing it, and all the problems he ran into with Disney and what they were trying to do and what he wanted to do. He's, of course, been very vocal about that, and it's all out there. We've covered it on here, and much of what he says is pretty much true. It's things we know and things that do happen, so you can't take that away from him. But he did offer up a reaction to Denis Villeneuve's comments, which of course was Marvel movie same, Marvel movie bad, fans stupid. Derrickson doesn't take the Neil Blomkamp route of insulting him. Instead, he puts it how I put it with my Neil Blomkamp video where I went into it. And he says, and I quote, "As a director, I don't slag on the work of other directors, even when I don't like something they've made. This job is hard enough for all of us, and nobody ever sets out to make a bad movie." End quote. And then he followed up with, and I quote, "Anyone who lambasts Marvel movies as all being the same has either A, not seen them all and therefore shouldn't assume that they're all the same, or B, seen them all because, hey, they actually quite like watching Marvel movies." End quote. So, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with him on either one. First and foremost, as a director, and as he says, and as I said in that Neil Blomkamp video, just to get to that level where you can make these films and be somebody that's given 250, 300, 400 million dollars in some cases to make films, you enter a very special level of trust in Hollywood. And even smaller directors who are fighting their way up, they start off with very little, and nobody intends to make a bad film, as he says. And if they do, or if you don't like it, don't insult them because you just come off looking like an a-hole. Right? That does make sense. Am I just screaming into a void at this point? People don't understand. Like, people are still like, I don't see what's wrong with his comments. It's like, don't insult other hardworking directors. Like, with that Marvel comment, he insulted Jon Favreau, the Russo brothers, John Watts, who made some great big indie films that put him on the spot, insulting Chloe Zhao, even Derrickson himself, because, oh, all same, right? And people are like, yeah, but Marvel movies. He's not just talking about Marvel movies. He pointed them out as well. He'd say the same thing about DC and probably Star Wars, because you could tell that, as Derrickson says, he probably hasn't seen them. Like, I would be willing to bet that Denis Villeneuve has not seen the Marvel movies. Maybe he's seen one or two and he was like, yeah, whatever, they're all the same. It's like, well, this goes back to that argument I brought up in the last video. How many have you actually seen? And I can hear you in the comments. I hear you.
They're all the same.
Yes, they have a certain aesthetic to fit a shared universe. That's the point. Are you going to expect that the HBO spin-off Dune series looks completely different and deals with magic, sorcery, and has some sort of bootleg lightsaber? No. Because it's set in the same universe that has to have a consistent tone. Like, why would you expect that for other things that have to exist in the same playground? It literally is screaming into a void. Whatever at this point. If you agree, you agree. If you don't, you'll let me know in the comments and you'll keep coming back and arguing and being like you're wrong, but you'll still like and watch the videos and boost the algorithm, whatever the hell. Anyways, yeah, how do you sane people that understand what everybody's saying understand what everybody's saying and think about this? Otherwise, we'll see the rest of you here around the time that the next big prolific sci-fi or anything comes out from any director that's never seen a Marvel movie, he's like, I gotta promote my movie. What's the best way to do it? Well, instead of telling people it's good, I'll just blast Marvel because that actually gets me noticed. Great strategy. Bold.